The grand jury has been called off at least until Monday again, and that was a bit of a surprise here because as the beginning of the week started, we were all on indictment watch, and it looked like the former president, as he stated, could be arrested on Tuesday. But the tables have certainly turned. A lot of twists and turns to get to. Let's bring in our panel now of legal experts here to get their thoughts on where we stand now on a Friday, what a week it's been. Joining us, former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is also a Newsmax contributor. And also next to Pam is Ken Belkin, who has been watching this case very closely for us, a criminal defense and civil rights attorney. Good to have you both in with me this Friday.
Thanks, Bianca.
Well, so before we get to New York, Pam, real quick, I want to get your take on Evan Cocoran. The attorney-client privilege, which is, being pierced by this D.C. appeals court. He's being called in now on the classified documents case. What's your take on that? Because many are saying, asserting privilege is his right, and clients have a right to retain this, very sacred, bond they have with their attorneys.
They do, Bianca, and as a career prosecutor, I always deeply respected that right for defense attorneys and their clients, because that's one of the most important rights in the criminal justice system that one can have. So a client can fully cooperate and discuss matters with their attorney, and those conversations will always be protected. And, President Trump did the right thing in asserting the privilege and appealing the privilege, because if they can do this to him, they can do this to anyone, and no one will feel confident talking to their attorney in the future. And it's, these D.C. courts just keep ruling against him every step of the way. But as we know, President Trump continues to ultimately prevail in everything. And this is just a veiled attempt to attack everyone around him, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the rally tomorrow will be in Waco. We'll start our coverage at 4 o'clock. He continues to go on. But Ken, you're a criminal defense attorney. Your clients tell you things, and, you're supposed to be able to have these candid conversations. It really is a real kind of disturbing, news event here that Cocoran is being called on, especially on this. The documents where we also know President Biden had classified documents, Pence had classified documents. What do you make of this?
Boy, do my clients tell me things. Sometimes I wish they wouldn't. But the reality is, It seems there's a willingness to just throw out the rule book when it comes to going after Donald Trump. Damn the Constitution. Damn the fact that this man has never really committed a crime. They just call him a criminal. He's been branded a criminal since the second he came down the escalator at Trump Tower and announced his bid for the presidency.
Yeah, and Pam, let's talk about New York now, because we started the week saying, an indictment is imminent. This looked like it was all buttoned up. Enter Robert Costello attacking Cohen's testimony. And, he talked about all the emails, maybe expository evidence that Bragg had hidden. As a prosecutor, it seems like his case, he's now scrambling to find another witness, perhaps, because Cohen maybe initially, his star witness was never really a great witness to pull out.
A great witness. He was a horrible witness. He's a liar, a felon, a perjurer. It's a convicted perjurer. Yeah, Bianca, having picked many grand juries in my career and presenting things to grand juries, they always say a grand jury, you can get them to indict anything. And that's probably true, but an ethical prosecutor doesn't want to do that. You present the facts to the grand jury. That's why you have a grand jury. You present the good, the bad, the ugly. You let them make the ultimate decision, and you guide them along the way. But you want those grand jurors to make the ultimate decision. And that's not what's happened in this case. And thank goodness for Robert Costello, because I have a very strong feeling that grand jury now is saying no way, no how. And think about all those prosecutors who have come before that grand jury presenting this. They've lost all credibility, in my opinion, after Bob Costello's testimony.
Yeah, you talk about, ethical prosecutor. That's probably not what we have here. There was also the letter that was revealed this week where Cohen said it was his own money, Ken. There's also this correspondence where Stormy Daniels says there was no affair. So this is piling up here. I want to get your take, though, because Dershowitz said earlier this week and told us, yeah, Costello really did kind of shine a light and attack Cohen's credibility, which was already damaged, as we mentioned, they're clearly convicted liar. But he said it might in turn actually give Bragg a gift, Ken, because now it showed how bad it was. So he could scramble. It gave him sort of an out there. Like if he just thought Cohen was going to go, Costello maybe in a weird sort of turnabout of play may have actually given Bragg some more time here. What's your thoughts on perhaps that's how it played out?
My thought is that if Alvin Bragg wants to obtain an indictment against Donald Trump, this is Manhattan criminal court. The fact of the matter is, I don't know if either of you have been to Manhattan lately or talked to the average New York City citizen. Most of them are seething with hatred for Donald Trump. For what reasons, they can barely articulate because they don't even know. Something like he's a racist, he's a fascist. Meanwhile, we've got a prosecution that is totally weaponized against what is essentially a private American citizen who tried to enter politics. That's who Donald Trump is. He's a private American citizen who tried to enter politics, a wealthy one, and this is what happens to him.
Yeah, well, he is running. He is not going to be deterred, he said, even if he is indicted. I do want to play a little bit of a great interview we had here last night. Ron DeSantis was speaking exclusively with our Eric Bolling because, Pam, I know you're in Florida here, so let's play a little bit of what DeSantis told us here on Newsmax last night.
I think I'm probably, more of an executive guy. I mean, I think that you want to be able to do things. That's part of the reason I got into this job is because we have action. We're able to make things happen. And I think that's probably what I'm best suited for.
Wouldn't take a Veep, not officially in the race, but we all kind of know where it's going. What do you make of, DeSantis and his comments as of most recently regarding Trump and the race to 2024? Pam.
Oh, well, I don't think he's going to be offered the VP slot. I think the odds of that are pretty much zero. President Trump is declared. President Trump, as you said, will be in Waco tomorrow, going strong. President Trump's resume is the 4 years that he was in the White House, what he did for our country, greatest economy, border safety, national security. Our police, our law enforcement loved him. Our economy was better than it's ever been. And then look at the next 4 years. What's been happening these past 2.5 years and what we see declining the next year and a half. And the only person who has fixed this country like that is Donald Trump. And that's why he's going to be in Waco tomorrow. He's rallying the crowds all over the country. And Ron DeSantis is a great governor for Florida, and President Trump will be a great president for the United States of America once again.
It's exciting times, isn't it? Wild times we live in for sure. Pam Bondi, Ken Belkin, I appreciate your time so much on a Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you.
Thank you both. President Biden is in Canada today. He's in Ottawa meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He'll also address the Canadian Parliament later this afternoon. It's his first trip to Canada as president, and the pair is talking about bolstering their alliance against Russia and China. But they're also tackling issues like immigration and trade during this visit. In fact, Biden and Trudeau will be announcing a deal today that would allow both countries, the U.S. and Canada, to turn away asylum seekers who cross the border illegally. Also today, an important update here. Breaking a short time ago, the House passed that parental rights bill by a vote of 213 to 208. This has been a top priority for Republicans. It really aims to protect children in the classroom across our nation. H.R. 5, in fact, amends the elementary and secondary education